Hello and welcome back on my channel. I'm Nadine and I pulled some cards for the collective again, and I think this message will be for you if you are very tired of reliving the same emotional pain over and over again. And I've looked at these cards in front of me and I've looked at their meaning and also at what they might mean to you or in a different circumstance. So I think that the overall message of this particular reading right here is that this is about ending a cycle. It's about ending a cycle of mental sort of pain, also self-betrayal for some of you, and it's about choosing honesty. It's about releasing and a clean emotional slate and a reset instead of repeating every single time or a lot of the times what is actually hurting you. So what I was going to do this time is that I'm going to walk you through the different areas in life that might apply to, because I know that emotional pain is something that does not just sit with money or with your career or with love or with family dynamics. So I'm going to give you a brief overview on what I'm picking up. This is emotionally a very heavy reading, so I tend to go with the emotion more, but I do feel there is also we always have emotions tied up in our career, in our work, so they are just as important. So let's just go through them step by step, okay? All right, so if you're someone who's looking for love right now, then I feel like that you might have been overthinking a lot, overthinking your past connections. You might have been replaying a disappointment over and over again in your head, or also been confronted with it. And it's sort of almost like you're internalizing a rejection of sorts. That's what it feels like here. A rejection of sorts, as something that has something to do with your worth. So a rejection from someone else could be very much tied to your own self-worth at this point, not because you're not able to do it differently. It's just, it feels like someone rejected you, or you have been rejected, or you feel rejected. And this still plays a part in who you think you are right now. We have the energy of the Hermit here. Okay, this is one of the first energies that was shown here. Then we have also, let me just grab all of these, the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords, so the Heartbreak card, and the Three of Wands. So double three here. And I feel like that all of these cards are basically telling me in a way that you've already have been processing the emotional pain. You've already sort of, almost feels like you're staying in the pain even though the pain isn't healing you anymore. So sometimes we need some pain in our lives, and it's useful pain because we can work with it and move on through the process of processing the pain, but it almost seems like the pain just sort of got stuck. And the next energies that presented himself with the Death card and the Fool card. So you have an ending and a new beginning. And it almost feels like this is like telling me, stop carrying the old grief into new situations. If you're going in with the expectations that the next person is just going to be as awful as the last, then it's really hard to prove you wrong, because you already are so prepared to be rejected or hurt or whatever. So it sort of like almost feels like if you keep choosing like emotionally unavailable dynamics, for example, or half-truth, you'll repeat the same cycle. So it's important that you look at the situations clear, trust your gut instinct, and also are very aware of what you want and what you don't want. Because choosing honesty and emotional, I almost want to say emotional reset, that is where you stop bleeding the old into the new connections, okay? I hope that makes sense. Also, you know, we also have some other energies here, the Seven of Swords, Five of Cups, and Three of Cups. So with the Three of Cups, there is some lighter energies on the horizon. There is friendship, there is new relations, there is new stuff coming in, but it cannot come in if you're in that same emotional cycle, especially with the Five of Cups. If you're stuck looking at the old and not seeing what's actually been offered to you right now. And I can show you this on this card. She is stuck on a lost opportunity when right here, I don't know if you can see this, there's this cup that's full of nice little gifts and shiny things that she's not even looking at because she is actually focusing on all the wasted opportunities. So yeah, better days ahead. Don't get stuck. If you're in a love relationship right now and you clicked on this reading, this is telling you, this reading, that the truth can no longer be avoided. And see how this changes the meaning slightly when you go into a different circumstance. So especially with the Seven of Swords and the Five of Cups here, that it almost seems like someone or something hasn't been fully honest. That can be you with yourself or someone by you, with you, whatever. But the thing is that there's already this energy of avoidance, and that is basically now causing the feeling of a loss in a relationship. So the disappointment here in this relationship sort of exists because there was truth that was either delayed or truth was withheld. So this is sort of the consequence. It feels like if you're in a relationship and you're watching this, it feels like the consequence is what this reading is showing us. The Death and the Fool are here to either tell you that you can transform this relationship, but only when you're radically honest about this relationship and what you want, your emotions, and so on and so forth. Or it ends with both of you. So it sort of feels like if this is an ending energy here, and I'm never going to tell you to end something. All the decisions that you make are your decisions. But this is either a rebirth of a relationship or the end of a relationship, and only you can decide on what thing you're standing on right now. But this is also the energy of, if you're thinking about ending a relationship here, it could be, and that's something that you have to determine for yourself first, because this might make you, give you the opportunity to stop grieving something that isn't actually working. So sort of like this energy is sort of pulling you back, holding you back from actually living the life that you want to live. This is clarity that's very necessary. So for everyone who is watching this because of a work or career move, so work, money, or also life direction in general, I feel like generally you're mentally stuck here. So that might be replaying mistakes. It's fearing the consequences of what has happened in your past. Sort of also not wanting a real reset because you regret something, or you're like, oh, if I made a different decision, I don't know, 6 months ago, then this would be different right now. But it's sort of saying to you, and it's the energy I get for most of this category, work, money, life direction. It's almost like what hurts is the staying where you already know that it doesn't work. It's almost like expecting something to change by doing the same things over and over and over again. So that's sort of what was replaying in my mind here. I feel like the Fool energy here for you is the choosing of a reset without dragging all kinds of things. The Fool goes freely, and I almost feel like this is so important because the Fool is always choosing to go on a new path without knowing, and also without a lot of baggage, right? So this is sort of like, there's no guilt, there's no secrecy, there's no regret. That is like, I'm going into the next chapter. So in the message for you, if you've been wondering if there's something that you want to do, I think the first step is taking a step back and saying, okay, does it hurt me staying where I am right now? And if that is the case, which is what the energy here suggests, then you need to focus on the things that you want in your life. And this is not like to say like, oh, just focus on the positive. No, actually sit down, make a list, look at what you want in your life. What is it that you would like to embody? What is it that you would like to do? And then the old needs to go so the new can arrive. But it cannot do that if you're focused on the past and the mistakes that you might have made or not have made. This is really, it's about choosing you. So It's about going forward unburdened of your past and actually doing a reset. The Three of Cups is really also that this funny, I totally didn't see that, but the Knight of Cups is right underneath it. There is new opportunity coming in for all of you, no matter what specific theme you chose to watch or you chose to relate to. But the Three of Cups is really telling you here that at the end, there is emotional lightness, I want to say. There is some lightness in the feelings and your emotions that is going to return. There is relief that is going to come in. And I think also for some of you, if you're choosing to stay in a relationship and actually leaving the past in the past, then this could also possibly speak of a reconnection happening after a release. So this is not necessarily the feeling that I get is not we're just celebrating because everything was so great. This is sort of like the weight is finally off my shoulders. And I feel like for some of you, this will be very important to hear that there's a chance of this weight and burdens that you might keep carrying around with you is finally leaving the space. So I do believe that if this resonated with you, especially when you feel like you've been on this thinking treadmill for like, I don't know how long, it's important for me to let you know that there's nothing wrong with you, okay? It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It means that once you come to these conclusions, that you're aware of your surroundings and what you need in life. And I think that it's important for anyone who feels or resonates with this reading that you're allowed to let go of what hurt you, and you really don't owe future you an explanation for that. You're choosing peace over guilt and trapped in emotions and all of that. So I think this is a very hopeful reading for all of you who just wanted to see like what happens when I get finally out of my brain and when I leave this behind, when I leave the old pattern in the relationship behind, when I finally leave the ex behind and believe that everyone is going to be like that person, or when I move careers, what is keeping me stuck? This is where you might find some real clarity. So as always, if you resonated, let me know, and I will see you in the next reading. Bye bye.